Hi, and welcome back. We are entering the fourth week of Lent, and the virtue of the week is righteousness. In our study of the Beatitudes, we've arrived to Matthew chapter 5, verse 6, where Jesus says, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be satisfied." Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be satisfied. So here we see Jesus use two strong primal desires to describe the way in which we should pursue righteousness. Hunger and thirst. These are not passing casual needs. These are urgent, pressing needs. We come out of the womb ready to have our hunger satisfied and our thirst quenched. And anytime we see hunger or thirst used throughout Scripture, it's typically used in this urgent tone. In Psalm 143:6, the psalmist writes, "I thirst for you like the parched land thirsts for the rain." It's always this urgent, pressing need to have that thirst quenched or hunger satisfied. And even in this beatitude, the translation isn't completely accurate. It's switched up a little bit to match the rest of the beatitudes. But if it were to be literally translated, it would be, "Blessed are those who are hungering and thirsting for righteousness." It's the present participle active voice. That active voice brings the verb and calls the action to the present. It's currently happening, or it's happening repeatedly. So it's not like when I'm hungering for pizza. I can hunger for pizza in the moment and go out and get pizza and satisfy that hunger. And I might not have that hunger again for weeks or months. And that shouldn't be the way that I'm hungering and thirsting for righteousness. It's a continual, constant, perpetual need that I have, that I'm looking and pursuing righteousness in that way. And it's daily, just the same way that I need breakfast, lunch, and then dinner. I need to daily, intentionally pursue righteousness in my life. It's a daily spiritual pursuit. And in the same way that my body can become malnourished from not eating enough and can become dehydrated from not taking in enough liquids, my spirit can also become malnourished for lack of feeding and watering my spiritual needs and by pursuing righteousness in a way that fulfills those needs. It's a cultivated taste. And I should know when I'm missing it. So, for example, I have cultivated my taste for coffee, and I have coffee every morning. And if I don't have coffee, my body feels it. I physically get a headache if I don't have my coffee in the morning. I miss it. I know that it's not there. My spirit should be pursuing righteousness in such a daily and intentional and constant and perpetual way that when it's not there, I miss it. I notice it. So what does hungering and thirsting for righteousness look like? Well, we're going to examine that a little more closely in part 2 of this lesson. But right now we have a good idea in this part of the lesson of what does it mean to hunger and to thirst, and how urgent and pressing a need it is that Jesus was talking about. And in part 2, join me to look at righteousness and see what exactly does that mean and how can I hunger and thirst for it. Tune in to part 2 of this lesson. Thanks for joining part 1.